I just saw Star Wars The Last Jedi, and wow, to quote Mr. Horse, no sir, I didn't like it. This is a thoroughly bad movie. Now, to set the record straight right off the bat, I've never been much of a Star Wars guy. I watched all the originals growing up. I saw Empire and Jedi first run in the theaters. I saw Star Wars A New Hope in 1983 in the theaters during the Star Wars Trilogy re-release, but I've never been a big Star Wars guy. So when I say that The Last Jedi is a terrible movie, please let that sink in, that I'm not talking about just a terrible Star Wars movie. It's a terrible movie. This thing needed a script up redo. There's nothing in this movie that is remotely redeemable. It is so full of stupid moments. Just a few logical gaps. I mean, if you think about anything in this movie, none of it makes any sense. Few logic things like, okay, Commander Laura Dern decides to lightspeed through the First Order fleet. She takes out Snoke's ship, a dreadnought, and like 10 Star Destroyers all at once with this one sacrificial act. No one has thought to do this before. She did by sacrificing one ship what the entire rebellion couldn't do to the Death Star with an entire fleet. No one thought of this before? Then you've got the whole rebellion fleet running out of fuel because they can be tracked in hyperspace. Okay, fine. It's already been established through Finn and Rose earlier on that they can only track one ship. The tracker is on one specific Star Destroyer. You've got like 6 to 8 rebellion ships here, and they all just keep light speeding to the same place. How about light speeding to 8 different locations? At best, the First Order could track one of them. That's sacrificing one ship to save the entire rebellion. Oh no, we all have to go to the same location. We all have to go in the same direction. Why? Because we're fucking stupid, and that's why we deserve to be destroyed. That's even proven when Finn and Rose take their little ship out of light speed in their Poe mission. It's not able to be tracked. Why? Because they're tracking the main fleet. None of these people needed to die. This was so dumb. Then you've got the complete emasculation of every single male character in this movie. This is woman-splaining the entire movie. There's not one male character in this movie that's able to do their job without being prompted or corrected by a woman. That is a classic overcorrection in the whole female empowerment shit. It's ridiculous when you look at just how badly written this movie is. And then you've got Luke Skywalker, the hero of the original trilogy, the hero of Star Wars. He's a coward. They have literally painted him as a coward. He knows millions of people will die and the galaxy will fall to the First Order. Oh, but I failed my students. I can't do it. And he hides out on an island. That's the act of a coward. How does that old saying go? All it takes for evil to win is for good men to do nothing. Luke Skywalker is a coward. This is a betrayal of the entire Luke Skywalker character. And to hammer that home, you have a scene that I think is supposed to be humorous. When Luke throws his lightsaber over his shoulder, that is straight out of a fucking Monty Python movie. That was one of the most insulting to Star Wars things I have ever seen in my life. Then you have the whole Force Awakens was all, ooh, who is Snoke? Who is Snoke? Who is Emperor Snoke really? Oh, well, he was nobody, so just forget that plotline because fuck you, we went in a different direction. Then you've got this whole thing with Luke projecting himself. Okay, first of all, it's obvious when he projects himself because the Luke that shows up on the Salt Planet has the shorter beard, no gray hair, and the shorter hair. The way Ben Solo remembered him. Right there you go, okay, so he's not really there, but he's interacting with Leia, he's sitting in a chair, he's walking on the ground, so how is he able to project himself and interact with objects when clearly Kylo's lightsaber goes through him? And I'm overthinking this way more than the fucking screenwriter should have. Then you've got this whole thing, you got the Mary Poppins moment. When Leia gets blown out of when the bridge gets blown up and Leia gets sucked out into space, I'm like, wow, they actually did that. They killed Leia. That is a ballsy move. And then she holds out her hand and does the Mary Poppins slide back in through an airlock thing. And I'm just like, okay, so the vacuum of space doesn't affect Jedis? I don't know. This is idiotic. This is so dumb. A dark side hole. It's like an anus in the middle of the island, and it was kind of implied this is like where all the dark side comes from. This dark side hole is so ridiculous. Seriously, everything in this movie seems designed to shit on the canon of the original trilogy. This whole movie seems designed to piss people off. The humor is so out of place. That whole holding for General Hux scene near the beginning is just ridiculous. And the only reason the rebellion gets any wins in this at all is because the First Order is fucking incompetent. It's this obvious ploy of this one X-Wing coming, nobody sees what they're doing, and then, okay, one X-Wing can take out all of the cannons on a dreadnought, and nobody saw this coming? You have Benicio del Toro's character who can slice through their shields? Wait, what? The First Order is so incompetent they don't deserve to win! And then this whole, we will ignite the spark of rebellion. Oh, fuck off with this shit. That entire diversion on the gambling planet with Benicio del Toro and freeing all of the not tauntauns and all that is so pointless. You could have cut all of that out of the movie and it would have had no impact on the story whatsoever. It was just there to give Rose and Finn a fucking moment to do something. And then you've got Rose. Finn is willing to sacrifice himself to save the rest of the rebellion. And Rose physically crashes into him to save his life, so she made the choice. Finn is more important than the hundreds of people inside this complex. We won't win this war with hate. We'll win it with love. Oh, fuck off, you hippie bitch! You killed the rebellion, you stupid cunt, you! Jesus Christ! And then you've got Rey breaks the lightsaber and helps Kylo fight off all of the stupid Crimson Guards that don't make any sense and are literal red shirts in this. And then what? The next time we see her, you gotta remember, this is on Snoke's flagship in the middle of a fleet. The next time we see her, she's on the Falcon with Chewie on the Salt Planet. How the fuck did she get off the ship? How did she link back up with Chewie? It's not like the Millennium Falcon is what brought her there. We're missing some major fucking scenes here. And the audience is just going, oh wow man, this is like so totally cool. It's so different from Star Wars. Different is not bad. When a movie franchise tries something different, that's good. And that was one of the problems with The Force Awakens. It was far too much the same. It was a beat-for-beat remake of A New Hope. So different is not bad. I'm not complaining because this went in a different direction. I'm complaining because this went in a fucking stupid direction. This is just terrible. They have made Kylo Ren from a somewhat nuanced villain with anger problems in Force Awakens into a whiny, bitchy teenager in this. Speaking of that, that's also what they have made Luke Skywalker. He is a whiny, mopey bitch in this whole movie. I think the screenwriter wanted to illustrate, oh, Luke's been beaten down, he's had his spirit broken. No, you've made Luke Skywalker into a whiny, cowardly bitch. You should be ashamed of yourself. This movie might be my last Star Wars movie because fuck this franchise if this is what Disney thinks this franchise needs. Paul Feig's Ghostbusters movie was more subtle in the gender politics shit. This was horrible. I hated this movie. It even has little inconsistencies in it. The whole Pogs or Porgs or whatever they are. So the little Porgs, which are cute as hell, are trying to guilt Chewie into not eating the one he's already plucked, skinned, and cooked. Okay, it's already dead. What's the point of this? If they were trying to guilt him into not killing it in the first place, I'd go, that scene has a point. It's showing Chewie growing because he understands these things have feelings. He's already killed it and cooked it. Why can't he eat it at that point? Because the Porgs have little sad eyes? Oh, fuck off. Fuck this movie, and fuck anyone who likes this movie. Star Wars is dead.